Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're having an opportunity to jump in and join us for this on-demand webinar today. I'm excited to have with me Anthony Nizzi with Guarantee Income Life Insurance. Many of you know them from the long-term care side of some of the things that we do and play with, but you may not know that they also have some very unique annuity products. And we're going to take an opportunity today to really talk about where this particular carrier shines and some of the unique product solutions and problems they can help you solve as you're working with your clients to help them achieve a goal or an objective or turn a dream from just a dream into an actual physical reality, that they have the financial resources available to go take that trip around the world, to know that they're financially going to be secure. Whatever it is you're trying to help them solve, we want you to see how the products available through Guarantee Income Life can help you solve that. So Anthony, thank you for joining us. I'm going to give you the floor, and I appreciate you taking some time to share with our producers today.
Thank you so much, John, and thank you to everyone for listening here to this webcast. I think anytime someone takes time out of their day to listen to the Guarantee Income Life story, that's extremely special, and I just want you to know that we really appreciate it. Guarantee Income Life is really one of the fastest growing annuity companies here in the industry, and I really kind of want to kick this webcast off with just sharing with all of you what type of company Guarantee Income Life is, where we've been, and where we're going. So Guarantee Income Life was actually founded in Baton Rouge, Louisiana in 1926. So we're almost a 100-year-old company here at this point. Really for the first let's say 75 years, Guarantee Income Life was primarily a life insurance company and a MIGA or fixed annuity company. In 2016, we were actually acquired by our parent company, Couvert. And that year, 2016, Guarantee Income Life posted, $45 million for the year. That's million with an M, in new annuity premium sales. Fast forward to 2021, we did over 900 million in sales. We finished just under $1 billion. Most of that on the backs of our index annuity offerings. We've expanded into the index annuity space. And, this year we'll probably, it'll be no different. We'll increase by about 20 or 30% here again this year in new premium sales. So, if you think about that journey from $45 million a year in 2016 to just under $1 billion in 2021, Gillico is a company that has really doubled in sales 5 times over the last 5 years. So we are an extremely quick and fast growing annuity company here in the industry. You might not know the brand name Couvert, our parent company, but Couvert, was founded in 2015. Their first acquisition was Guarantee Income Life in 2016. Then they acquired what we call our sister company, United Life Insurance Company. They're based out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. They began their Couvert Life Reinsurance portion of their company, and it's located in Bermuda. And then at the end of 2019, they actually made their largest acquisition to date, a company that probably many of you in the industry are very familiar with, Lincoln Benefit Life. So Couvert is a company that they're looking to acquire different arms for their insurance companies, but really what they're looking for is they're looking for companies that are going to help the Guarantee Income Life and United Life brands grow, and I think that's evident with what we've done here so far. So really our flagship product, the Wealth Choice Fixed Index Annuity product is what I'm going to be spending the most time on here today. And it's a really simple and straightforward annuity solution here for all of you. Here's our spec slide. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the spec slide, but one of the things that I want to point out to all of you here is we do have a 5-year version, we do have a 7-year version, and we do have the 10-year version. And I'll kind of go over some more details of those products. But this is an extremely friendly annuity product out there in the industry. It's, we're still one of the carriers that do 10% free withdrawals starting in the first year, 10% free withdrawals every year after that, $20,000 minimum. And then just a little cherry on top, there is a return of premium rider that is included on every single contract where the client can always get their original premium back, and that's available in the 6th contract year. Just a quick look at our rates. We do have some of the highest rates in the industry right now. Our S&P 500, this is effective June 1st of 2022. Our S&P 500 cap on our 7-year product is at 7.1%. Our S&P 500 cap on our 7-year product is at 7.25%. And the S&P 500 cap on our 10-year product without a bonus is at 7.4%. So some extremely high cap rates out there in the industry right now. One of the other things, and it's a strategy that I'm going to talk to you guys all about here later in this webcast, is the Horizon Ascend Index. We do have, you'll notice we have par rates on the Horizon Ascend upwards of 120%, 120% on the 10-year product without a bonus, and 120% on the 7-year product there's no bonus on that one either. On the Horizon Ascend with the 10-year product with the premium bonus, the premium bonus doesn't cost the client anything, but it does reduce the rate slightly, and you'll see that the Horizon Ascend par rate is at 80%, and the annual point-to-point with a cap strategy rate is at 6.25%. Really, I'll just talk a little bit of illustration strategy here with the clients. What we're seeing a lot of reps do, because we do have really high rates across the board here, is we're seeing a lot of people who go into the 10-year product without the bonus for accumulation, and they're really doing a third into the Horizon Ascend par, the S&P 500 participation rate without a cap at 40%, and then a third in the annual point-to-point with a cap at 7.4%. So just a quick look at each of the products here. So the Wealth Choice 5, one of the nice things about this product is it will issue up to the age of 90. There's not a whole lot of index annuity carriers out there in the industry that will issue up to the age of 90. We're one of them. It is extremely client friendly, 10% free withdrawals beginning in year 1. Surrender charge starts at 9%, reduces 1% per year after that. There is a death benefit feature built into all of our products where the client gets 110% of the account value if it's taken out over 5 years. Maturity age on all of our products is 110. That's a big deal. And I really point this out as people are living longer. And I'll hit on this here in a little bit, but we have MIGA products that will issue all the way up to age 100. And I get cases every single day where clients are up against their maturity age. When I started in the industry, maturity ages for the most part were moving to age 95, but there were still some annuity contracts out there that had maturity ages at age 90. Now we're seeing more and more carriers have maturity ages at age 100. But to have a maturity age at 110 is extremely important for the client's longevity, that they're not going to be in a position where they have forced annuitization later down the road. On the 5-year product, the income rider is not available. On the 7-year product, again, this one will issue up to the age of 90. Same thing, 10% free withdrawals. Surrender charges start at 9%, reduced by 1% per year. There's the same death benefit feature. Return of premium is available here on this one. It doesn't come into play here on the 5-year product, but return of premium available in year 6. And they can also add the income rider onto this product. The income rider can be added on ages 0 to 75. And then the 10-year product, this is our number one selling product. Issue age 0 to 80. They can choose an optional 5% bonus. As I stated earlier, the bonus doesn't cost the client anything. It simply reduces the rate. 1% reducing surrender charge. Surrender charge on this one starts at 10%. Same death benefit feature. The income rider is available, and same return of premium feature on this product. So it's in the name, Guarantee Income Life. You know, I think it would be, we wouldn't be representing our name very well if we didn't have an excellent guaranteed income solution here on this product. And we do have a really strong optional rider. I mean, the Wealth Choice product is really one of the best accumulation products out there in the industry that also happens to have one of the best income riders out there in the industry as well. And, you know, really what we have here is we have just a simplistic income rider. We don't have a roll-up. We don't have a benefit value. We don't have a bonus to the benefit value. But what we have are just some extremely high withdrawal percentages. So it's always 10% to the client's age. A 60-year-old gets 6% income for life. A 75-year-old gets 7.5 income for life. A 68-year-old gets 6.8% income for life. So it's really easy on the fly for you to calculate, okay, well, how much is my client going to get in income for life? And one of the best parts about Guarantee Income Life is we use the same payout factors for single and joint. That's really unique to us here in the industry. You know, if you think about it, we still base income based on the younger spouse, but think about it this way. 2 65-year-olds get the exact same income as one 65-year-old. So I feel like when I run illustrations, when I get requested to have an illustration ran from me, you know, I feel like the agents will start out with, okay, well, what's the single income available here for the client? And really, if there's a spouse in the house, what we should really be looking for is what is the joint income, and does that make sense? Because unless we're at a situation where the main owner is 70 years old and the spouse is 50, you should really be looking at joint income when using Guarantee Income Life. The only challenge here with this income rider is that the income cannot officially be turned on until year 4 of the annuity contract. But I'll show you a case study here in a minute on how we can start income early in years 1, 2, or 3 using this income rider. We do this at one of the lowest costing riders in the industry, and it's 75 basis points, and that's deducted based on the account value and deducted from the account value. So it is a true 75 basis point rider fee for the client. So let's take a look at a quick case study here for Frank and Lauren. So they're both age 65. They wish to retire and start to take income immediately. They really like that Gillico does not reduce income for joint income. But again, they want to take income immediately, but we won't turn the income rider on until year 4. So how do we solve here for this? And what we can actually do with this product is, remember, we allow up to 10% free withdrawals in the first year. So what we can do is we can solve for, okay, how much can the client take out in years 1, 2, and 3, and then still be able to continue that same levelized income when they turn income on in year 4. And we're not going to reduce income for joint income. So remember, we've got 2 65-year-olds here. So what I did here is I just ran a quick illustration. Remember, it's the same income for single or joint, but this is on our illustration software here. Is when you go to rider withdrawals, we have a special selection called early level lifetime withdrawal. And what that allows the software to do is that allows the software to calculate, okay, well, how much can I take out in a free withdrawal and then continue that levelized lifetime income when we turn the income rider on in year 4. So we have a 65-year-old putting in $100,000. We're going into the 10-year product with a bonus. Typically, we see people add the bonus, especially if they're going to take income early, because it allows for a little bit more guaranteed income. So here's how it looks on the illustration. So in this first example here, we're doing income now, and we're putting it 100% into the fixed bucket. The reason we went 100% into the fixed bucket for this example is this is going to guarantee our minimum fixed bucket rate of 1%. So this is going to be our highest guaranteed income payout. So a 65-year-old or joint 65-year-olds will receive on $100,000, $5,930 per year in years 1, 2, and 3. And then when they turn income on in year 4, it's going to kick out that exact same $5,930 for the rest of their life beginning in year 4. If we look at, well, that's all fine and dandy, but a lot of people like to go into the index strategy here in an index annuity, and they don't really want to go into a fixed rate strategy. So if that's one of the clients that you're working with, I think that's great. $100,000 in this example, remember this is single or joint income. The client will receive $5,775 in years 1, 2, and 3. And then assuming a 0% return, the client will receive $5,775 when they turn the income rider on in year 4. Remember, this is assuming a 0% return. So what I get asked in the field all the time is, okay, if this is assuming a 0% return, it's unlikely that we're going to have 0% returns for 3 consecutive years. What happens if the client receives positive returns in years 1, 2, or 3? And this is our hypothetical illustration using we use the Horizon Ascend index here on this one. The client's going to take out the same $5,775 in years 1, 2, or 3. And then assuming hypothetical performance here on this, the client's income is going to step up to $6,535 beginning in year 4. So keep in mind, guarantee income life's illustrations or income rider works a little different, right? Since we don't have a benefit value, we have an extremely high likelihood that the client's income is going to step up in that 4th year if they went into the index strategy. And what I mean by that is any positive return in years 1, 2, or 3 will ensure that the client is going to receive more income in the 4th year. We don't have a benefit value that we have to surpass or anything like that. We just need some positive returns because everything is based on the account value. Here's the other thing I want to show you is let's just go back here to this slide, is take a look at the rider fee column here. So as I said, we're a true 75 basis points on the account value. Okay, well, assuming 0% returns, you see that account value decreasing here. So you also see the rider fee decreasing until we turn the income on, and then the rider fee does lock in for the remainder of the contract. Same thing here. Since we see the accumulation value fluctuating here with the performance, the rider fee also fluctuates with the accumulation value until we turn the income rider on, and then that rider fee locks in for the remainder of the contract. So if we want to compare this to, let's say we have a contract out there that you put in $100,000, they offer a big bonus on the front end to the benefit value. Let's say they put on, let's just say a 10% bonus to the benefit value on the front end, right? And they charge a 1% fee. Well, that's technically no longer a 1% fee because it's based on the benefit value that's up here, and it's deducted from the account value that's down here. So that is really more like a 1.1% fee that's being deducted starting from the very first year. So this is a much more client-friendly rider to choose from because the fees are already lower and it's deducted from the account value and based on the account value as well. So one of the hurdles that we have with people in the industry or agents and just kind of getting our product in front of all of you is that, since we are taking free withdrawals in years 1, 2, and 3, we're not on Annuity Rate Watch when you're calculating income or Annuities Genius or other income illustrating softwares, because technically our income rider is not being turned on until year 4. You have to go into our software and calculate these free withdrawal amounts. So what we ask everyone to do is just the next time you have an income case, especially if it's joint income or income is starting early, like in years 1 or 2, take the income challenge. Compare our income to what you're currently using and see if we can provide higher income than the annuity you have. And 9 times out of 10, we can really 10 times out of 10 with joint income, when joint income's being taken within the first 4 years, we can provide higher income than any annuity out there in the industry. And with that, I'm just going to cover our Horizon Ascend index here and just kind of go over what this index is all about. I think 120% participation on this index has us extremely excited, has a lot of the field extremely excited as well. And really what I want to focus on here is what makes this index different than other volatility control indexes that you might be using. I mean, I think, we're hard pressed to say that, it's better, or I think it's best for us always to focus on, well, what makes it different and why might this be the best one for you to choose? But I think, it's anyone who knows what is going to be the best volatility control index over the next 10 years, I'd like to talk to them. But I think that there's a lot of reasons why, this one could be one of the best performers here for you. And really it starts with our diversification. Okay, so there's a lot of volatility control indexes out there in the industry that might use, like S&P 500 and then a fixed income option like 20-year treasuries or something like that. And the problem with that is during a volatile environment like we're in now with rising interest rates, it's hard for them to go anywhere to seek returns during that type of market. And we've seen that with volatility control indexes here over the last 6 months in this market that we're in 2020. But this one diversifies between 8 different ETFs spread across 4 different asset classes. So here are all the ETFs that we use. We use the 3 different equity ETFs, and then we use 3 fixed income ETFs, and then a reserve ETF. Okay, why does this matter? This matters because there are multiple different fixed income levers that they can pull to reduce the volatility down to 5% before they go into cash. And during a rising interest rate environment, although none of these fixed income options are immune to rising interest rates, typically we will see like high yield corporate bonds come out on the other side a little bit better during a high yield or a rising interest rate environment than we might see like the 20-year treasury bond ETF. And I think that that's just extremely important because there are places that this index can go in order to try to seek positive returns, stay invested longer before going to cash during a volatile environment. And in fact, this index here this year, if we look at all of these ETFs, this index isn't immune to a down market or rising interest rates. We are down about 5% in this index here so far year to date. But one of the shining stars that we have in this index is our commodity, right? And that's gold. Gold's up about, last I looked, it's up about 4% here year to date. So there is an ETF in this index that's returning positive. And to have that commodity ETF, especially gold, during this type of market is just extremely important to be able to deliver returns here for the clients in an index like this. And here's the performance that we've had. So this index has returned positive performance. This is all based on 100% participation, right? So not 120% participation, but this index has returned positive performance 95.9% of the time. So 96% of the time, this index is posting positive returns. The 10-year average return at 100% par is at 6.37%. Last year, this index at 100% par did 4.1%. It's up over 5.9%, 50% of the time, and it returns over 5%, 60% of the time. What does this mean to you? Well, this means to you that this index, we can get to, you can get to a 5% average annualized return a lot of different ways, right? In a 5-year product, you could do 25% in the first year, followed by 4 zeros. You could do 4 zeros, followed by 25%. What we're aiming for here is to do something like close to 5% per year in this index. And what that means is some years we're going to have 4s, some years we're going to have 3s, some years we're going to have 7s. But I think what you're going to see is you're going to see this index posting points up on the board every single year to provide more consistency here for your clients. The reason for that consistency is the broad diversification. We're not betting on just one or two ETFs. We're betting on 8 different ETFs inside of this index. Over the course of 10 years through consistency, or 5 years through consistency, I think this index can be a top performer. For any given 1 year time frame, there's a lot of diversification in this index, so it's hard for it to be the top performer. Not saying it couldn't be, but I think we're in a really positive spot here right now. I've heard a lot of differing reports out there in the industry, but let's just say for the next 12 months or next 6 months, this index or the S&P 500 starts to move into the positive portion. If that happens, this index could be the difference of your clients getting a return this year because of its broad diversification, or not getting a return this year because you're undiversified in your volatility control index. Here's just a quick look on how the index is done. This is April 1st of 2019 through April 1st of 2020. What we're trying to go for here with diversification is we want to give your clients a more consistent, more predictable outcome. And as we see, the S&P 500 through the first 3 quarters of this annual point to point was up 14%. The Horizon Ascend was up 7%. The S&P 500 dropped to negative 12% by the end of this annual point to point. The Horizon Ascend lost about 1.5 points, a little bit more than 1.5 points in return. We returned, a more consistent, more predictable positive return of 5% here for the clients in the Horizon Ascend index during this time frame. So that's the volatility control mechanism at work during one of the most volatile times we've seen in recent memory. So what I tell everyone here with Guarantee Income Life's product is, remember your ABCs, right? For the wealth choice. And that's issue age. We'll issue up to age 90 on our 5 and 7 year product. Income benefits. Using our withdrawal strategy, we can provide some of the highest income benefits in the industry. And then consistent performance with our Horizon Ascend index. It's one of the most consistent performing volatility control strategies out there in the industry. We're going for, consistent returns throughout the time for your client, putting points up on the board every single year here with this index. And with that, I do just want to give a quick plug here to our Guarantee Rate Lock. This is our MYGA product. We see a lot of business coming in here to this product, not only because, we have top rates out there in the industry right now. That certainly helps. Our 5-year product has a fixed rate of 3.95% for anything above $100,000, 3.85% for anything below $100,000. We have a 3-year version that can earn up to 3.6% for above $100,000. But really also because we'll issue up to the age of 100 here for this product. I believe we're the only carrier out there that will do this. But as you have clients, especially clients who are getting older, there's not a whole lot of places for them to go above the age of 90. For us to offer this solution is really important. It's really valuable for you out there in the industry because a lot of clients are facing maturity dates, right? Age 95 maturity dates on their annuity products, and they need somewhere to go with that money. And we really offer a fantastic solution, issue up to the age of 100, and top rates out there in the industry. So with that, if you have any questions, please work with your partners at Vision, and also, feel free to give the Gillico sales desk a call at 800-535-8110.
Anthony, that's a powerful story that you shared, and I hope our producers take the time to go back, and now that they've had an opportunity to go through it, go back and listen to it a second time. You dropped a number of gold nuggets, and I made a note of a few of those. I mean, you're one of the few carriers that issues to age 90. I can think of only 1 or 2 others in the industry that do that right now. The fact that you've got the ability to issue to age 100 with some of your annuity solutions, and your maturity age is 110, correct?
Correct.
So that's huge.
Yep.
That's huge, because one of the greatest areas that we're seeing a challenge right now is these individuals, and one of the fastest growing segments of our populace are those 100 years of age or older. and trying to figure out what they're going to do with their smart money solutions now that they're outliving what we typically consider traditional safe money alternatives for them to look at. You mentioned the idea of being able to use your products and that you don't take a significant haircut when you go with joint income. That is huge. And I hope our producers go back and pick that up. And then you're one of the few that still offers the true 10% out. So that is an extremely powerful story. And I hope as a result of this, producers that are listening to this, as you got another play coming up with an income solution, don't just go to your pet product. Let's take this guarantee challenge that Anthony's put out. Let us or let the folks at Gillico do a comparison for you between what you're going to be offering the client and what they bring to the table to have an opportunity to make sure you're delivering the best solution to your client that's actually going to serve their needs. Anthony, I want to say thank you for taking time to be with us today. Thanks for sharing. We appreciate the relationship we have with you guys, and I look forward to sending some more business your direction.
Thank you, John.